James chapter 4, starting at verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I'm going to give all praises and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arkah Kodash, forgive me the spirit, to do this lesson. In this lesson I'm going into, you cannot fight demons by yourself. Okay? You cannot fight demons by yourself. All right? The Lord did not build it that way. Okay? On the earth for mortal flesh. Okay? He created demons to be stronger than mortal flesh. Okay? On purpose. All right? So that we would go to him for the armor. We would go to him for the protection. Okay? So if you feel like you're going in circles all day, you're having a lot of trouble, it's because you're trying to fight the demons by yourself and you're not going to win. Okay? You can fight them, but you're not going to win though. All right? At all. That's what I'm going into in this lesson. Okay? You have to arm yourself in the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Then you fight the demons. Then you can have success. You're not going to have success no other way. Okay? Let's read James chapter 4, verse 7 again. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Okay? Let's go to resist in the blue letter.
Strong's G 498. Antitasso. Antitasso.
It says to range in battle against, to oppose oneself, resist. Okay, so to range in battle against. Are you going to range in battle against a whole bunch of demons that's way stronger than you? You're not stronger than one demon by yourself. So how the hell are you going to be stronger than multiple demons teaming up against you? Okay, so when it says to range in battle against, you have to put on the armor. Okay, to range in battle against the right way. Okay, for success. Through the power of the Lord, not yourself. Okay, it's not yourself. Okay. Let's go back to James chapter 4. Let's read 7 again and read verse 8. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Okay. Draw nigh unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he will draw nigh unto you. Okay, and it's impossible to draw nigh to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai without seeking the armor. Right? We have to seek the armor, the spiritual armor. It's not physical, it's spiritual. So there's something that has to happen in the spirit to get armed to fight these demons correctly. Okay, to win, to be successful. Draw nigh to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Right. Okay. Do you believe or you don't? Don't be double-minded. Okay. If you believe and trust in the Lord, then why are you not putting on the armor? Okay. And if you don't understand how to put on that armor, why are you not seeking counsel? Okay. It talks about the Lord's counsel in Proverbs chapter 1, 20 on down. Why are you not seeking the counsel to learn how to do this? This is very, very important, man. It's vital to your survival in this truth. Okay? When it speaks about he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. All right? Think about it, man. You're enduring with what? The armor. The armor is giving you the strength to endure, not yourself. Okay, let's go to Ephesians chapter 6. Let's start at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and in the power of his might, his power, not your power. Not your power. Okay, King David took down Goliath through the Lord's power, not King David's power. Okay, and King David said that. He understood. So because he understood, all right, the Lord dealt with him like that, gave him strength from the heavens. All right, and he can do us the same way. Okay, so in the power of his might, verse 11, Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? The tricks, the craftiness of the devil. That's what it's talking about when it says wiles. Okay, this devil can come so many angles that your mortal flesh is not prepared for that, man. You can't beat that. He was created to be stronger than you so that you can go to the Lord. The Lord set it up that way. Okay, and these demons know that. They understand that. That's why they try to distract you all day, okay, from getting to that armor. Because they know if you put on that armor and fight with that armor, it's going to make them flee. Okay, you think they fleeing you? Who are you, man? Okay, so you have to humble yourself and understand that you need the Lord. You need the armor. We need the armor day in and day out. Okay? It says that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil because you can't stand by yourself. There you go. Okay? Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, in very high places. Okay? Very, very dark wickedness. Okay? So we need a lot of help in this situation. Verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the whole armor, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Okay, and you can't stand if you don't listen, if you don't take counsel. How you going to stand? You going to follow yourself? Okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai put his counsel on the earth so that you can seek it, okay, and get understanding on what I'm talking about right now. Okay, because these people are already bugging out, but they're about to really be bugging out soon. Okay, we are in this time. We are in that time, I should say. Verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girt about with the truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Okay, and the key point of the truth is that Yahushua is the door and you can't go no other way. He's the door. He's the light. He is the way. Okay. Period, man. All right. Because that's the only way to come in that house, to walk through that door, that you're able to put on the armor. You can't receive the armor no other way. It has to go through Yahushua. Okay. Make that point. Having on the breastplate of righteousness. Right. And we understand that faith was accounted to Abraham for righteousness. Okay. And the same would be for us. Okay. So the breastplate of faith. Okay. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Right. The crafty. Okay. This devil can come so many ways at you, man, that it's impossible to beat him by yourself. It's impossible, man. Okay. We have all been there where we're not doing so good in the spirit. We're low. Man, you go in circles. It gets dark. It's like quicksand, man. It's like quicksand. And the whole time the demon's laughing at you like, you don't get it, do you? You can't beat me by yourself. Okay. They're not going to flee. They're not going to run from you solo. Do you understand? They're not going to run from you solo. Okay, they're going to bring more people and more people against you by yourself. Since you think you can take them by yourself, they're going to show you what time it is. Okay, and like I said before, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai set that up from the beginning like that on purpose so that we can go to him, so that we can humble ourselves, okay, and understand that we need him. Do you understand? We need Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to survive. Without him, ain't no survival. Okay? Ain't no survival. Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. Right. Prayer is very, very important in this situation. Okay? When you're talking about the devil fleeing, when you're talking about resisting. Okay? But how can you pray if you don't believe? How's the Lord going to answer your prayers if you don't believe? So again, you can't do it by yourself. Okay, your faith has to be right. All right, that shield of faith, part of that shield of faith to quench those darts is prayer with belief. Okay, through the Holy Spirit, through your Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Okay, it's very, very serious. So it says, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Okay. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. Let's start at verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Right. Okay. And a big part of that humility is that you can't do it by yourself. Okay. Is that you need Yahweh Bashem Shai. It's not about you. Okay. So humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh Bashem Shai, that he may exalt you in due time. Right. He will strengthen you. He will lift you up with strength. He will lift you up with clarity. Verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Right. Your eye being single. Verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Now, how you going to be sober and vigilant without the light? How are things going to slow down for you on the battlefield? Because we are on a war battlefield, to see what's going on, okay, so that you can be directed to fight correctly and be successful. You can't do that by yourself. So if you're doing that, that's why you're going in the circles. That's why. That's why you're going in the circles, okay? And you're leaning towards other stuff to comfort you that's not going to slow things down for you. It's going to give you temporary satisfaction for that moment. But you're still in the war. You still got to fight. You still got to have the armor on. Okay, so Satan tries to distract you with different vices and different things, you know, that pleases your flesh for that moment or this moment. And the whole time he's plotting against you. While you're in your oohs and ahs, he's plotting against you because you don't have the spiritual armor to be sober, to be vigilant, to look around you. Okay? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith. There goes that resist again. Okay, you resist through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Right. They're going through the straight gate too. They battling demons around them. Okay, that's why we have to exhort, okay, to battle the demons through the power of Yahweh Bashem Shai and not yourself. Okay, one day at a time. Evil is sufficient enough for one day at a time in this war. Don't worry about tomorrow. You got to fight these demons today. Okay. All right. Stop looking for comfort and distractions to comfort you to the point where you're just sitting there with no armor and the demons just wearing your ass out, man. That's why that's happening to you. That's why you're going in circles in darkness and quicksand. That's why you don't have the armor on, and the Lord is trying to get your attention to put him on. Okay, that's the truth. Let's go to James chapter 2, verse 19. It says, thou believest that there is one God, thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. The devils believe and they tremble. Okay, they're scared. That's why they flee. That's why they flee. Okay, because once they see the spirit is in you, of Yahweh Bashem Shai, and you're fighting with the spirit, they can't do nothing with that. That's their boss. What they gonna do? It's set that way, man. All right, so these demons are supposed to poke you and, you know, set things up and get you here. They're supposed to do that. They're doing their job. Now you got to do your job. And if you do your job, they will flee. That's how it works. They will flee. Okay, now, Satan has been trying to dampen this lesson and make my mic go in and out. So I have to keep going back and forth. So if I said this already, hey, it's all through the spirit. Okay, but this lesson will get done. Let's go. Let's end it on here. Luke chapter 11. I read verse 35, verse 36. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not darkness. Right, you have to examine. Okay, you have to examine. So if it's getting hard for you fighting these demons, it's because you're doing it by yourself. Now you understand, like, man, I got darkness in me. That's why. Okay, because you're taking heed. Examination. Okay, verse 36. If the whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of a candle do give thee light. Right. And that light is huge, man. Okay, because that light is coming from the heavens. And that's the power that these demons are afraid of. Okay, that's the power that the demons are afraid of. They're not afraid of you. Get over yourself. Okay, you're an Israelite, but you need the Lord. That's the whole point of being an Israelite. What makes you higher, Jake loved to talk about Deuteronomy 7 and 6. What makes you higher than the other nations is the Lord, not you. Okay? The power that's with you. If you put on that power, if you dress in that power. Okay? So I hope you're edified. I want to give our praises and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kudash, for giving the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Yaakam out there that's doing the truth in all sincerity. Shalom.